All right. Okay. I would like to call to order the City Council regular meeting of Monday, April 17th at 6:04. Roll call, please.
Mayor Doby,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Nafolda,
Here.
Councilmember Hasselbrink,
Here.
Councilmember Hibbert,
Here.
Councilmember Murphy.
Here. All right, and if you would all stand with me, Councilmember Hibbert will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and then Councilmember Murphy will lead us in the invocation.
Please place your right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We come today asking for guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this meeting. Help us to engage in a meaningful discussion, allow us to grow closer as a group, and nurture the bonds of community through respectful communication and collaboration. As Henry Ford once said, coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, and working together is success.
Thank you. Okay, I would like to invite council to come on down for some presentations. Okay. All right. It's like she knows she's first. So, y'all, this is pretty spectacular. This is really loud. I have to hold it somewhere, though, to catch for recording. They make life hard. You see this? So we are going to honor Miss Nancy, who is 102 this year. I just said this year. I just said this year. I didn't put it on you yet. I said it's coming. Feel better. Now, we recognized her last year, and we're pleased to have her back this year. Please join us in singing Happy Birthday. Are you ready? I'm not doing it anymore. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Nancy. Happy birthday to you. Is it cake and ice cream afterwards?
As they'd like.
As
It's available.
Okay, so if y'all would like to snack as we're going through our meeting, please feel free to see the snackies on that back table. They are magically delicious, I can promise. Now, last year, we gave our little spark plug to Mike, and she held about 45 minutes. So this year, in the interest of saving time, I'm going to ask you to tell us one thing that you're grateful for this year. Yeah, just one. Make it good. Make it good.
I am grateful for all my people, my friends, my country, my Los Alamitos, my home, my children, my grandchildren, and my great-grandchildren, and to my friends of friends who have adopted me in their lives. I'm very good.
Can I hug you? Oh, okay. And then we have this beautiful commendation, because it is successful to live that long and still look glorious. So thank you for blessing us with your presence this evening. All right. Do you all want to stand? Oh, no, picture, but tell us the easiest way to do it.
Whatever you're comfortable with, Nancy. Would you like to stand up for a picture or have them come to you?
Come on, Grammy. No, we'll see.
So I'm gonna need that grandson to come on. Come on down while you're giving directions and instructions.
I'm only 22. You don't want me.
Well, you still got me beat, friend. Come on down. So any of her family, friends, anyone that would like to be in this momentous picture, please come on down. Yeah, yeah.
Get up here.
I want
You can't leave her. Come back and get her.
Oh, no, I was kidding. I was gonna get her.
Nobody gets left behind here, not on my watch.
Yeah.
thank you, everybody.
You're so welcome.
Everybody being here. I love you all. I love my city, everything. They are doing a beautiful job progressing our city. You know, we have 11,535 inhabitants.
I didn't know about the 35, but thank you. I'll update my numbers. Thank you. Somebody been smuggling kids in, but I'll take it.
She's all doing that without the mic. Our family would like to thank you for your kindness. That's what's lacking in this world right now, and you guys are showing it. So thank you.
It's our pleasure.
Well, we have things
It's our pleasure.
stand by: faith, hope, patience, tolerance, courtesy, kindness, and most of all, love. And don't forget to eat your tomatoes.
Those other fruit. So thank you, Miss Nancy. And while she's taking a breath, we're going to move to our next presentation, which is a proclamation to Rachel Rodriguez, One Legacy Ambassador in recognition of Donate Life Month. So is Rachel here? Come on down. Come on. Okay. Now, you want to share a little bit about what? Okay.
Thank you so much, Mayor. I was blessed to be here last year to share Malachi's story. My grandson Malachi, this is Malachi. And Malachi, he was my firstborn grandbaby. And sadly, his life was very short-lived. Baby Malachi horrifically was a victim of homicide. He was murdered by his mother's then boyfriend. And my son Daniel was the baby's dad. In my son's darkest hour of his grief, he chose to think of others. And baby Malachi went on to save the lives of 4 people. He saved a 9-month-old with his liver, a 2-year-old little girl received his heart, a 21-year-old received his right kidney, and a 65-year-old received his left kidney. It's in their stories that we find hope after tragedy. The 2-year-old that received his little heart was diagnosed with cardiomyopathy at 2 years old. She lived most of her life in a hospital setting. Fast forward 12 years, this is her. She just ran the Orange County Marathon. She just did another half marathon with our baby's heart. So it's in her face, her story, and the stories of the other recipients that my family finds peace in this tragedy. I became a One Legacy ambassador to honor my grandson. And even though, tears still shed, I made one promise to my baby the last time I held his hand. And that was to continue to share his story even through the tears. So this today is a fulfillment of that promise, so I thank you once again for declaring April as Donate Life Month in the city of Los Alamitos. I'm honored to be here, and I'm honored to continue to share my baby's story.
Thank you all. Next, and I feel bad if some of y'all are not huggers up here because you just got to do what I do. Next, we have a presentation of a proclamation to Westcom representatives in recognition of National Telecommunications Week. Cassandra Edwards, come on down. Well, so, okay, where's Cassandra? Because she want to say, come on, you want to say a few words?
Yes, please.
Please do.
Thank you.
We'll do the pictures after she says her words,
Okay.
so y'all can.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor and members of the City Council for having us here today for this recognition. It's my great honor to speak with you guys this evening about National Telecommunications Week, which is observed annually during the second week of April every year. The city recognizes our dedicated public safety dispatchers who work tirelessly behind the scenes to keep our community safe. Westcom is a joint powers authority serving the cities of Los Alamitos, Cypress, Seal Beach, and we also provide dispatch services for the Orange County Park Rangers. Westcom serves over 90,000 residents and covers a service area of 23 square miles. Westcom processes over 126,000 phone calls a year, and 28,000 of those being 911. They handle over 74,000 police incidents a year. They are the lifeline for police officers, providing vital information and support to ensure that they can respond safely, quickly, and effectively to emergencies. And dispatchers are the first level of contact with the public in the event of an emergency. It requires a unique skill set to perform the job. They work long hours, and they deal with challenging and stressful situations on a daily basis. Being a member of the Communications Center is extremely rewarding, as each member exhibits pride, dedication, integrity, and top-notch service to the residents and the visitors. Thank you for this recognition and the honor of serving your city.
All right, we got a little something for you. Thank you, thank y'all. What will we do without you? Please don't answer that, and don't make us try to find out. So there's a lot of loveliness up here. Jordan, you're included, so we probably should squeeze together, yeah? You need us closer? Okay, well, come closer anyway. All right, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. So I'm getting the mic. I was just told I'm handing the mic off. There's nothing I love more. Chief, come on down.
Thank you. I'm going to do some presentations. First of all, it's a joy for us to be able to add members to the Los Alamitos Police Department, members of our tight-knit family that we have here. So it is with honor that I'm able to introduce. So I'll read their bios, and then you can come up afterward, and we'll present you with your plaque and take a picture with the council. First up is Luke South. Luke began his career with the Orange County Sheriff's Department in 1996. As a sergeant, Luke was assigned to the Central Men's Jail before transferring to patrol, where he worked the cities of Rancho Santa Margarita, Dana Point, and Laguna Hills. Luke later served as a training sergeant and a tactical sergeant with Orange County Sheriff's Regional Training Academy. In 2014, Luke was promoted to the rank of lieutenant and assigned to the Intake and Release Center, where he worked as a watch commander before being selected to serve as the administrative lieutenant. There, Luke was responsible for the entire operation within the Central Men's Jail, Central Women's Jail, and Intake and Release Center. In February of 2016, Luke was recruited to work as the Bureau Commander of the SAFE Division. The SAFE Division is responsible for developing, implementing, and revising all policies and procedures for the Sheriff's Department, as well as conducting critical incident reviews of major department incidents. In 2016, Luke was selected as the Chief of Police Services for the city of Rancho Santa Margarita. There, he supervised 27 sworn and professional staff employees and managed a $9 million budget. He interacted with the city manager, city council, and department heads to facilitate the contract between the city and the Sheriff's Department. In March of 2018, Luke was promoted to the rank of captain and assigned as the division commander of the Theo Lacey Detention Facility, which is the largest jail in Orange County, housing up to 3,200 inmates. Luke supervised 450 sworn and professional staff employees and was responsible for the facility's $70 million budget. After 2 years at Theo Lacey, Luke was transferred to the Professional Standards Division. While working PSD, Luke oversaw 6 units within the division, which were backgrounds, concealed weapon permits, employee relations, employee services, recruiting, and business licensing. While at PSD, the sheriff conducted a reorganization of the department, and Luke's title became commander. After 2 years in PSD, Luke was selected to lead the training division. In his most recent assignment, he was the division commander of training, where he managed a staff of approximately 60 sworn and professional staff employees at 2 separate facilities in the cities of Orange and Tustin. He oversaw all advanced officer training provided at the Sandra Hutchins Regional Law Enforcement Training Center and all basic training of recruits at the Sheriff's Department Regional Training Academy. It is with great honor that I introduce Captain Luke South. The next two are newer officers, so the bios won't be as long. Next, we have Officer Joel Espinoza. Joel grew up locally in Stanton and Anaheim, and he hopes to improve his community through his work as a law enforcement officer. Joel went to Whittier College, where he majored in political science and minored in social work. He comes to us with an extensive background in asset protection, where he worked for over 10 years for 2 large department stores. Joel has been married to his beautiful wife, Stacy, for 2 years, and they have a pit bull chow mix named Cujo. Over the years, Joel aims to attain the leadership skills and specialized knowledge needed to grow within the department and hopefully attain a specialized position such as K-9 or SWAT operator. Please join me in welcoming Officer Joel Espinoza. All right, I have the pleasure of introducing one more. Next is Oscar Perez. Oscar grew up in the small city of San Jacinto, California. He graduated from San Diego State University with a bachelor's in criminal justice administration. He resides with his girlfriend Stacy and 2 kids, Mia and Easton, and their micro golden doodle named Levi. He enjoys spending time at Mia's softball games and Easton's baseball games. And as a family, they enjoy going to the beach and camping. And in case you weren't sure, they are Dodgers fans. In his in his free time, he enjoys working out, hunting, and watching or attending boxing events. Please join me in welcoming Officer Oscar Perez.
Okay, we're going back to our seats. Meeting's not over though, just hang tight. Start back up again. Okay, we are moving on to item 6, which is oral communications. At this time, any individual in the audience may come forward to speak on any item within the subject matter jurisdiction of the City Council. Remarks are to be limited to no more than 5 minutes per speaker. I would request that anyone that wishes to speak would come and fill out a speaker card and/or fill out the sign-in sheet is on the podium?
Yes, ma'am.
Or fill out the sign-in sheet on the podium. So, Carol Churchill.
Good evening. That was a really lovely presentation. It's so nice to see the new members of the Los Alamitos Police Department, and they were really happy and smiling when they got their pictures taken. It made you feel really good, and they had a lovely group of family here, too. I'm here representing an association of residents from Los Alamitos, Seal Beach, and Rossmore, who have organized under the name of Protect Our Community Now. The website is pocnow.org for more information. The goal of the organization is to assure that future housing development mandated by the state preserves the quality of life people from these communities enjoy and make sure the city officials provide for the safety and financial security of their residents. The members of the group have appeared at public hearings asking for this council to provide information on the housing element update and the zoning ordinance which implements the goals of the housing element. What has occurred is that the council has rushed through significant changes to the character of the community with little or no input from residents. This happens for 2 reasons. The city posts its agenda on a Thursday evening. City Hall is closed Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, leaving residents almost no time to consult with their elected representatives and staff to determine the implication of decisions to be made on Monday evening. The second reason is the council refused to set a forum to discuss the plans, zoning rules, and impact on specific neighborhoods. Residents have repeatedly asked for the community forum to answer questions such as this. Why did the city exceed the state mandate for high-density housing by 68%? If the state only mandated 769 units, why did the city propose 1,295? Why did the city overrule the Airport Land Commission when it found that there were substantial safety and noise impacts for buyers and residents of the Lamson project due to its proximity to the Joint Forces training base? Is the failure to include a liquefaction study going to result in inadequate building standards, putting future residents of multi-story housing at safety during a risk of an earthquake? Why did the city rezone City Hall so it could be sold for housing? Why did the city rezone Laurel Park so it could be used for high-density housing? Will new park space be provided? What plans are there to build a new city hall and police station? Who pays for it? Where is it located? Will taxpayers get stuck with the bill? I know you will not answer these questions tonight because you have neglected to do so before. The members of Protect Our Community Now have decided to educate Los Al residents of the negative impacts that will occur from housing development proposed by the zoning ordinance adopted in March. The ordinance appears to designate to maximize the profits of developers at the expense of the safety of current and future residents, as well as have a negative impact on the quality of life and proposes significant financial questions for the city. The residents want to participate in the development of their community. They do not want city staff, influenced by private developers' financial motives, to dictate the terms of the quality of their life. A referendum petition will be circulated to the next 30 or 45 days to secure sufficient signatures to call for an election by Los Alamitos residents to rescind the zoning ordinance in its entirety. For more information or to volunteer to circulate the petition to your neighbors and to read the referendum petition, viewers should go to pocnow.org. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Any other speakers?
Oh, no.
Oh, you tricked me.
That's a pick.
All right. Okie dokie.
Won't take but a minute, but I want to thank the council for all the work that they do. They're doing a splendid job, and I appreciate you. And I don't know, I'm a little bit nervous about all these little uniform people here. I'm afraid they're here to keep me under control. And I gotta get out of here. So with that, I will say thank you for the honor of representing me here. I've enjoyed it, and I'll see you next year.
Absolutely.
Yes. Oh, goodness.
They've already gone and on the road doing
Miss Nancy, you have a standing invitation every month for our meetings.
Let her bring the sunshine. She can bring the sunshine. I'm gonna let it ride. She's still under 5 minutes. So, no, she's still under 5 minutes. So we're good. I'm timing her.
She's going to make friends up there.
That's cool.
Elvis,
But wait, there's more.
Elvis has not left the building yet.
Oh my word.
Oh, I want to hear.
Right.
I want to hear every month.
I can do.
Right there in that chair every month.
I could do with it. I could do with it.
She is something else.
Did you have anything that you wanted to say before we start our council announcements?
Not at all, Mayor.
Okay. Give me an eye. All righty, so we will move on to item 7, which are council announcements. At this time, council members may also report on items not specifically described on the agenda that are of interest to the community, provided no action or discussion is taken except to provide staff direction to report back or to place the item on a future agenda. So we'll go ahead and start with Councilmember Murphy.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. So I just want to say a couple events that I attended over the last month. So I attended the Planning Commission meeting. Again, I write everything. It helps me keep focus and to the time. So I was very impressed with the level of commitment and dedication of the commissioners as they collaborated with each other to make recommendations that could impact our community. I plan to attend future commissioner meetings for each of the commissions to help facilitate and improve understanding of developing proposals and ideas while meeting our volunteers. I also attended the Housing Symposium moderated by former Governor Gray Davis as Huntington Beach Council member Kalmyk, former State Senator Isadora Hill, and other panel members discussed objectives and proposed strategies to build a more structured approach to align state and city housing policies. I had an amazing and fun time stretching, laughing, and getting to know several women from different backgrounds at the Stretching and Mimosas event held in the Los Alamitos Community Center. And it was hosted by our very own Emmeline Noda. And did I mention mimosas were served by myself and our illustrious council member, Hasselbrink, after the class? Of course, not before. And I just want to say, don't miss the next Elevate Women's Conference meetup, which will be held on June 23rd, which will feature gardening tips and a terrarium workshop. I also enjoyed a memorable and special experience serving beverages with our wonderful Los Alamitos police officers at Starbucks on Catella in Los Alamitos for the Coffee with a Cop event, along with Council Member Hibbard. And for some drivers, you may have been lucky to catch our Chief Claiborne serving a mocha or latte in the drive-through line. No arrests were made during this event. I also had the distinct pleasure, along with Council Member Hibbard, to support and celebrate in Vegas with Team 236 that represented our amazing police officers from Los Alamitos, Seal Beach, Cypress, Fountain Valley, and staff from Westcom as they participated in the 2023 Baker to Vegas race. I also had a really great experience and enjoyed a ride along with Los Alamitos Police Officer Arnold. He's such a great person. You know, he's a December born, just like myself, which helps on the likability test. And in case you're wondering, yes, my birthday is December 22nd. All right, just to let you know that. I also attended the Chamber of Commerce team building event with Mayor Doby, Chief Claiborne, Veronica Wilson, Alicia Booth, and various other city staff, local officials. I attended the State of Evictions and OC event where I learned about a landscape analysis of rent-based evictions and housing instability in our community, as well as the increasing number of measures and strategies that can be applied to mitigate potential evictions in the OC. I also had the pleasure of attending the Spring Carnival, which was a roaring success, as usual. I, along with Councilmember Hasselbrink and Director Gallagher of the City of Los Alamitos Community Foundation, served Bloody Marys and mimosas to a number of adult patrons, while listening to amazing sounds of the Sugar Lips Band, which provided live music. I also attended the LOCC Cedar Leadership Summit along with Mayor Doby and Councilmember Hibbard. We were fortunate enough to sit down and meet with Senator Wynn and a number of state senators and legislators in Sacramento to discuss legislative measures that affect local communities, such as the rise in retail store thefts that have forced several businesses to close their doors due to the ongoing loss of revenue, which of course affects me because I shop a lot, so it's higher prices for me. Additionally, we attended a number of discussion sessions that focused around homelessness, school safety with the ongoing rise in school violence, and navigating housing challenges associated with short-term rentals. And finally, before I start something else, I, along with Mayor Doby, Councilmember Hibbard, City Manager Simmons, and several staff members are participating in the Biggest Loser Challenge to help promote and build healthy habits until June 29th. Well, later. I'll just move these gummy bears on the side. Please feel free to entice Mayor Doby, Emily Noda, Ron Noda, Chelsea Wilson, city staff, Parks and Rec staff with their favorite goodies and snacks, since they're not on Team Victorious, which is comprised of myself, Councilmember Hibbard, City Manager Simmons, and Chief Claiborne's assistant, Veronica Wilson. Please feel free to cheer on Team Victorious as we successfully take home the win in June. And I also wanted to, those were all the events. There's something else I wanted to discuss. As a new council member, I have a lot of questions related to the position, duties, and responsibilities and agreements between the city and third parties and joint ventures. I've been fortunate to have a healthy, supportive, and collaborative relationship with city staff who have been integral in helping me facilitate and acclimate into my new role. Anyone who knows me, I'm the person who likes to learn something new every day so that I may know a lot about a little and a little bit about a lot. So to further improve my understanding and knowledge of past and present agreements and/or contracts with the City of Los Alamitos, I requested several agreements to be provided to my attention for review. As such, I'd like to take a few moments to address one of those agreements, specifically the agreement for city attorney services between the City of Los Alamitos and Woodruff, Spradlin, and Smart, or WSS. According to the original fully executed agreement for city attorney services between the City of Los Alamitos and the law firm WSS that was entered into agreement on August 28, 2017, the city decided to appoint, employ, and retain WSS to provide city attorney services for the city and to provide legal services required to be formed by the Office of the City Attorney as of the commencement date of October 1st, 2017. In this regard, Mr. Michael Doubt was designated as the city attorney for the city and the chief legal advisor for the city council. Furthermore, according to the new fully executed agreement entered into as of September 18, 2017, and commenced on October 1st, 2017, with no agreement term expiration, in addition to the city council, Mr. Doubt represents and advises city staff, such as the city manager, city clerk, and so forth. In 2019, Mr. Doubt, as a city attorney, at the time would have the authority and capacity to provide legal representation, advice, and assistance in the preparation or review of contracts and other legal documents for Mr. Les Johnson, the Los Alamitos Development Services Director from September 2018 to August 2019, and the interim city manager from August 2019 to January 2020. As I was recently made aware, Mr. Johnson is now the Director of Planning Services at T&B Planning, Inc., which is the Irvine planning firm hired by developers to assist in developing the proposed Lamson project in Los Alamitos. Now, I recognize that Mr. Doubt said he sees no conflict of interest in a string of messages between Mr. Johnson and Mr. Tom Oliver, the Los Alamitos Planning Director, regarding the proposed Lamson project. However, there should be some consideration for a conflict of interest that may have arisen from Mr. Doubt's responsibility as an attorney to his former City of Los Alamitos client, Mr. Johnson, and providing loyal and independent judgment to his current client, the City of Los Alamitos Council, and city staff, i.e. current city manager, Mr. Chet Simmons. Specifically, when it concerns the impassioned concerns of the community with regards to the proposed Lamson project. With that said, I would like to make a motion to have the City Council discuss the scope of services provided by Mr. Doubt to Mr. Les Johnson and/or any developers, builders, or agents who propose projects with the City of Los Alamitos during Mr. Johnson's employment with the City of Los Alamitos as a Development Services Director and Interim City Manager from September 2018 to January 2020, as there should be deliberation and careful consideration as it appears there is a conflict of interest. As somebody once told me, it's all about perception. Is there a second for my motion?
Can you repeat what the motion is?
I'd like to make a motion to have the City Council discuss the scope of services provided by Mr. Doubt to Mr. Les Johnson and/or any developers, builders, or agents who propose projects with the City of Los Alamitos during Mr. Johnson's employment with the City of Los Alamitos as a Development Services Director and Interim City Manager from September 2018 to January 2020.
Would that be during a meeting?
So the point of order would be Councilmember Murphy can request the item be added to a future agenda, and then we would bring back a staff report for council's discussion at that time. The agenda policy requires her to have a second to have direct staff to put it on a future agenda.
A second for discussion?
For discussion.
Okay, I'll
correct.
second that.
Okay. Councilmember Hibbert.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. My list is a bit shorter. I did join the Los Al Police Officers in the Baker to Vegas run, and for those of you that aren't familiar with that particular run, it's a 120-mile run from Baker, California to Nevada, Las Vegas, Nevada, and lots of law enforcement from not just throughout the state, but throughout the country. There were even some Europeans there, so we went and met a lot of the ladies that are dispatchers with Westcom. I also attended the Coffee with the Cop at Starbucks, so if you go online, if you go on Instagram, you can catch a few shots of the chief serving coffees out of the window. I also attended the annual Easter egg hunt at Little Cottonwood Park, where we saw, I don't know, thousands of people, come. It was another great event hosted by Parks and Rec. I think my favorite part was the 0 to 2-year-old Easter egg hunt, because basically they said 3, 2, 1, and all the little kids went running. They stumbled and fell over their baskets, and it was mostly the parents who were collecting the baskets, but it was really cute. I also went to Sacramento with Mayor Doby and Council Member Murphy, and we went with California cities and lobbied with a lot of our local Orange County Assembly members and senators, really advocating for things here in the city of Los Alamitos, particularly public safety. There's a lot of action happening right now to make some changes to Proposition 47, which has to do directly with public safety. And we also requested some additional funding for things that are going on here in the city. And lastly, I too am participating in the city's Biggest Loser Challenge. It's a 10-week fitness challenge with the staff, PD, and council. So if you see any members of the council or staff or PD that are looking particularly fit tonight, that is why. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Hasselbrink.
Thank you. I also attended the Stretching and Mimosas. We had about 40 women there of all age groups. Did a little stretching, a little mimosas, and a little bit of laughing. So it was a very well done event. I attended the Spring Carnival. Once again, another huge success. The Bloody Marys and mimosas were a hit. For some reason, I'm now the quasi bartender for the foundation, but that's cool. It's about the kids. We met with the Budget Standing Committee. We reviewed the 21-22 audited financials, and we started a draft review of the 2022, 2023, and 23-24 budgets. A couple years ago, we added that second year so we could use it as a planning guide. It's actually really nice because we can look at more long-term things rather quickly. And then attended the foundation meeting. We will be doing the beverage garden at the Parklet series. It starts this coming Thursday at 6 o'clock over on Pine Street. And in the summer, we'll be doing the Parklet series that are in the different parks. And I think that's it.
Awesome, thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Nafolda.
Yes, thank you. I also attended the Spring Carnival, which was really, really fun. My kids are kind of aging out of it, so now I'm getting enjoyment of watching everybody else's kids and have them follow their kids all over the park. But mimosas were good. I also attended the, I guess it was whatever it was, the band and food and stuff like that same night, and that was good. And I just love it when the community gets together, so keep doing a great job and running those events. I attended 2 OC Sanitation Board meetings, but nothing to report.
Okay. All right, y'all, this list gets longer and longer, but I promise you, I've got a real full-time job. So let's see. I attended the OCOG General Assembly, where I was able to meet with regional representatives to get more information on who to talk to get things done. I'm learning very quickly about the hierarchy and the ins and outs of who you got to go to get the machine moving, because there are certain steps that you have to go through, and they're not very readily available to novices. I also attended a housing symposium to again get more information on what's really going on with housing numbers. And it was fascinating because there were builders there were council members, there were other elected officials, and there was even a former governor, and they were all giving their perspective from whatever their background. So Democrat, Republican, old, new, and they all have a very fascinating view on housing. The NOTAs, the dynamic duo, and I met with Assemblyman Tree-Taw and his chief of staff to gather information on how to get the most support from his office for our city in regards to resources and funding. Read that we want him to give us money. We want to know where the money is, and we want it to come to us, because what I'm learning is every elected has some pot or another that they're supposed to give out to their constituents. So we're just going and patting everybody down. Pockets, we're patting their pockets looking for money. Let me clarify my life. I also attended a preliminary meeting with OCTA to discuss senior transportation options. Some of my seniors may know that we don't currently have access that comes, so we are working on a method of transportation. I'm even asking them if they can look at, because I think our senior housing starts at 55, so that it would also include 55. So no one gets left behind. We're waiting on an update from their office, and then we're also looking to have a collaborative meeting with Seal Beach and Rossmore, because we are good neighbors. I attended an awards breakfast for Habitat for Humanity and a chamber networking luncheon that was hosted by Epson, where Chief and Coach Fenton cut quite the duo. It was very nice. I won a helmet from being in Coach Fenton's skit, so it wasn't so bad. He was talking about my Nordstrom shoes because I walked away with a gift. Oh, And my OCFA was there too. Yes, he was at my table with me. I had the pleasure of going to the Spring Carnival where Michelle Steele's reps George commended us again, our Parks and Recs, on a spectacular event. His words, not mine. Our Parks and Recs are second to none. He loves coming to our events. And then I finished up the Saturday with a walk over to the Los Alamitos Sunset Saturdays. That's what it's called. They have some of the most amazing small business vendors, and it's just a really wonderful way to end your Saturday evening, and you might see an elected official or two. The highlight since the last time we came together was I was in Sacramento to advocate to our lobby, to advocate and lobby our assemblyman, specifically Trita, and then our senator, Janet Nguyen. Senator Nguyen gave us a tour of the Assembly floor and the Senate floor, and we were able to find out more about how each of these offices function. And we were able to go into some meetings with our neighboring cities and their assembly members and their senators so that we could just do a lot more information gathering. One of the greatest takeaways was one of the senators, Cody
Petrie Norris.
Senator Cody suggested that us mayors band together, like, just get a gaggle of us and petition senators specifically. What she helped us to understand was it really doesn't matter what we tell them. We said it's more impactful when they actually physically see us. So since most of them, we don't all have to fly out to Sacramento. They're all right around here. The one that we want to talk to specifically is out in LA. So we have our Cal City's liaison working on a meeting so that we can go and talk with that specific senator, and they are one of the ones specifically pushing housing. So we will be storming that door. Then I also attended a few sessions while we were out in Sacramento, and I would like to at this time direct staff to look into a training for city council and staff on workplace investigations. There were a lot of useful tidbits shared that would provide clarity and protection for us all, and it's essentially what is council's role in the city's workplace investigations. Now, I would like to give some shout outs to a few of our staff members that I feel should be given their flowers. First up is Chelsea Wilson. Our mighty HR team of one handles all the recruitments for our tiny little mighty city. She's brought us into the 21st century by implementing online portals to streamline the application process, and she was literally the glue that held our city together during COVID while implementing all of the ever-changing workplace mandates. So Chelsea, thank you. Next is Craig Kohler. He implemented the best practices budget process that we use today, which is a 2-year budget cycle, 2-year budget forecasting, another first for our city. Since his arrival, the city has maintained structurally sound budgets that continue to generate surpluses, and he has been instrumental in helping the city find a way to pay down our unfunded liabilities. Again, that is something that most cities are not doing, and you know how I know? Because while I was out in Sacramento, people were rumbling about it, and I sat there with my chest out and my shoulders high, knowing that my city has it under control. Thank you, Craig. Last but not least, Ron Noda. He is instrumental in negotiating the lowest trash rates in Orange County for our residents. Not bad for a micro city. He expanded the city capital improvement program from $350,000 to a whopping $4 million. And he created a whole new economic development division. That's a first for our city. And I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge that he is completely integral in the meetings with our elected officials. He has come with me to meet Michelle Steele. He has come with me to meet Assemblyman Trita. He's come with me to meet with Senator Janet Nguyen. And when I tell you that he can fill in the gaps that I wouldn't even know that I don't know because of the superb amount of experience and dedication that you have shown this city for more than half of your life. Thank you. And as an honorary mention, my favorite handler keeps my whole life together. Don't know where I would be without her. My city clerk, Wendy. And that was all that I had for this evening. Thank y'all for indulging me. You have made my heart happy. Next, we will move on to items from our city manager. Oh, wait, I did want that thing that I asked for. I didn't do it right, did I? Okay, so I want to put on a future agenda item. Tell me how to do it.
You can just do it.
So as the mayor, you can direct staff.
So I would like to direct staff to find a training that I really feel like that would be very pivotal for us. It would be critical for us to know. I'm an HR professional, I'm an HR consultant, and I learned so much sitting in that room. If you don't know HR and you want to go a deep dive Google, the rules change about every 6 months, and sometimes more frequently. So if we could get someone to come in and give us at least what's the latest right now on what our role is specifically in workplace investigations, that would be tremendous. Okay? Okay. Thank you. Now, items from the city manager.
Well, first, I just wanted to have Director Noda quickly run through some of the upcoming events for everyone.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and members of the City Council. This Saturday, we have our Southline Credit Union Elevate Teen Expo. It's our second annual event. And I just want to give out a shout out to all of our great partners that is making this a success that it is. Our title sponsors, Southline Credit Union, Casa Youth Shelter, the Youth Center, Orange County Healthcare Agency, Tilly's Life Center, City of Los Alamitos Recreation and Police Department, and of course, OCFA. And I just want to encourage the community to send their middle schoolers and high schoolers out to this event. It's $5. And it goes over personal discovery, self-confidence, worth and self-care, safety, special interests, and adulting 101, such as basic first aid, conflict resolutions, inclusion and equity, emotions, creating healthy habits, engaging with law enforcement, success in your career, and life skills. This is an event you don't want to miss. We also have on May 6th from 3 to 6 at the Community Center our senior prom. This is not high school senior prom. This is senior prom for 50 and above, but anyone can come. We have our King Salmon Band, and this is title sponsor Memorial Care. Tickets can be purchased in advance. We actually have 70 tickets already sold, so you're gonna want to purchase your tickets ahead of time before we sell out. And it is a blast. I go every year, and it is amazing. And we have our fellow senior club members who will be serving adult beverages in fundraising for our senior club. And we also have our sponsors Home Instead and Memorial Care. And then lastly, we have our summer brochure that you don't want to miss in the mail in the next week and a half. We have hundreds of classes and camps to keep your family busy all summer long. Our city news with information, our summer concert series, 3rd of July, all kinds of information, and our summer day camp that is going to sell out this summer. I had to register my kids before all the excursions sell out, so please, this is my plea to you, register now before it sells out, and you will be very sad that you didn't make it in. Thank you.
Mayor, just one more thing, just with all the thank yous that are being not thrown around here, but heartfully meant. I did want to mention OCFA and our fire chief. As you know, if you've walked into the back, we currently have a mobile command post that is set up back there. And far be it for the police to ever ask the fire department for help, but they did provide a place for them to work while we were actually renovating the city. And all joking aside, that is an expense that we would have had to incur if our partners at OCFA hadn't stepped in and found a home for us. So again, Chief, thank you for everything, and I truly appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
And that's it, Mayor.
Okay. All right, next we'll move on to item 9, which are the warrants. Can I get a motion?
I'll move it.
Can I get a second?
A second.
Can I get a roll call?
Mayor Doby,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Nafolda,
Aye.
Councilmember Hasselbrink,
Aye.
Councilmember Hibbard,
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy.
Aye.
So the reason we say aye is because we learned up there too, if you say yes, your vote don't count. So I'm going to start saying aye. Next is the consent calendar. All consent calendar items may be acted upon by one motion unless a council member requests separate action on a specific item. Is there anyone that would like to pull an item? I hear nothing.
I'll move the calendar.
Can I get a second? No, oh, no roll call. Motion to move the balance. Second, and then all in favor. So second, all in favor. That was me. Aye.
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 Okay, I heard 5 ayes. Okay. All righty. And then next is our discussion item? Glorious. So, say it again? I'm gonna call for you. Just give me a second. I'm coming. I have a list. That's how I make sure I don't skip anything like you wanting to give me a comment. All righty. Well, it's community outreach and town hall meetings. At the March 20th, 2023 council meeting, council members Hibbard and Murphy requested an item to discuss additional town hall meetings. This item seeks direction of the mayor and city council related to the city's community outreach and town hall meetings. Can I get a staff report?
Yes, ma'am. So the staff has provided a list of events that we currently undertake each year in order to hopefully better inform the community. These are the ones that are scheduled as part of just our normal rotation. A good illustration of that was at the Spring Carnival this last weekend, where we had pop-up tents from multiple divisions and departments where people were able to have one-on-one interactions with staff and having their questions answered. We also do the twice a year Good Morning Los Alamitos to provide a forum for residents and for business owners and staff to engage in one-on-one discussions. Obviously, this item was called for by Councilmember Hibbard and Councilmember Murphy, and I believe Councilmember Hibbard has a short presentation as well that she would like to share.
Thank you.
So does that go or public comments first? Or does it not matter as long as I get them done?
The last option.
Okay, cool. So after her presentation, then we'll go to you, and then we'll do the rest of the council. Okay.
Oh. Okay. Thank you for adding this to the agenda. I'm the newest elected council member, and so I've been hearing a lot from neighbors. I walked the district. I'm in District 5, and I walked all 14 miles of District 5, campaigning, and so I'm learning as I go here. And in January and February and a little bit in March, there were a lot of comments for information. More residents wanted to get involved and learn more about what was going on in the city. In addition to our events at Parks and Rec, they seemed interested in agendas and details and commissions and committees. And at the time, we didn't have much of an outreach for that. So here's just a few slides, just kind of going over a few things regarding community outreach. So as not to affect the city's budget, I made a list here of free resources that we have here at the city. The city has a weekly email with a little over 10,000 subscribers, a Facebook page with over 1,000 followers, and an Instagram account with over 2,000 followers, with a total reach of about 13,000. And since asking for this to be put on the agenda, we've accomplished some significant milestones just within the last 30 days, which I'm very pleased to see. If anyone is on our email list, you'll see that just in the last 30 days, we've completely redesigned the email newsletter into beautiful sections. Mentioned city council meeting in Friday's newsletter. Our city's newsletter goes out on Fridays. And so that's beginning to get mentioned in there. Residents are pleased to see that. It also mentions city council meeting on Facebook and mentioned city council meeting on Instagram. And for those of you that aren't on our newsletter, here's I have a few pictures of what the new newsletter looks like. So there's this beautiful picture that's at the top. Congratulations! I mean, whoever designed this, I mean, absolutely well done. I love the graphics. So this is what you see at the very top now. And then it goes through different sections. This particular one is public safety. So on Friday, we were letting residents know about a freeway closure and a power outage alert. Some more of our amazing recreation and community services. Some events on our community calendar. and our business calendar. And super pleased to see that our upcoming city council meeting was on this, because again, we have over 10,000 people on this list. So a lot of the residents that were saying they might not have known that an agenda was posted or that there was a city council meeting, right now over 10,000 people with one email sent on Friday were made note of that. And here's a look at our Facebook page. If you haven't liked it, please do so. And here is a sample post that shows that the city council meeting was coming up. Here's a look at our Instagram. If you're not already following us on Instagram, City of Los Al, you could see here. And again, mentioned city council meeting. And here's a close-up view of what that looks like. Beautiful graphic. I believe that these are excellent improvements. And particularly one of the main reasons why I was interested in having some additional community outreach has to do with specifically the business of the city. So I put, going forward, let's also include budget standing committee meetings, planning commission meetings, traffic commission meetings, parks, recreation, and cultural arts commission meetings, and town hall meetings. I think that if we continue to incorporate these into those free resources, that newsletter and our social media, that our residents will, continue to be pleased with the improvements that we're making here. So in conclusion, residents ask for increased community outreach and additional communication. I believe it's wonderful to live in a community with so many residents who are interested and engaged. And adding city council, committee, commission, and town hall meetings to our weekly newsletter, Facebook, and Instagram have a potential reach of over 13,000 people. And the best part about it is these additional communications are totally free. Thank you.
All righty, so we'll move to public comments, the sign in, the sheet you still have. Just please sign in, yeah. Then you got 5 minutes.
All right. First of all, sorry, I'm Dan Brandt. Sorry for interrupting earlier. I know when I'd get a chance.
I know who you are, Dan Brandt.
I know. First of all, thank you. Just want to talk real quick about the community outreach, town hall meetings. I saw that on the agenda tonight. With the referendum coming up, I think it's important to do some kind of town hall meeting or community meeting so that the education's coming from the city and the city staff rather than through the public. And that's kind of stuff we've talked about in the past. So I think it'd be important to open some kind of forum during that process so that the city staff can make sure that they educate the public. Because during the referendum process, there's going to be people in the public educating. So I think it's important that the city does something also. If you could open it up, because I think specifically to zoning and what's going on with the housing, because I think it's important that we do open up to the residents so they see that. And I appreciate your thank you for consideration on that item.
Thank you. Anybody else out there in audience land like to come up?
I would like to thank Councilmember Hibbard for a very thoughtful, thorough, and professional presentation on how you can improve the city's communication with the general public. I think that's really top-notch, and I would encourage the council members to adopt your recommendation. I think the people in the community would have a lot more confidence in what their city staff is doing. Thank you.
Anybody else? Well, all right, we'll bring it back here. Anyone else want to share up here?
Yep. So in regards to the reason why I requested the motion on the next agenda was for us to recognize that the Recreation and Community Service have accomplished phenomenal success because of their commitment and dedication to their community service and support with a number of events. Emily Noda, her staff have been outstanding, integral to the continued development and success of the events in our city. However, I introduced the motion as a town hall style meeting for the community. It was to be exclusive from the existing Parks and Recreation hosted family-friendly gatherings and event-specific activities. I don't believe that a setting such as a spring carnival is an ideal place for discussions in regards to concerns and questions from the members of the community. I believe that the number of 22 events referenced in the community booth and outreach events aren't suitable venues to fully engage in a comprehensive discussion with community members to ensure that their concerns are addressed and their questions are answered. When I had indicated that I want a town hall meeting, my outlook was a meeting where city staff, city council members, police officers can actually sit down in a room with the community and they can ask their questions directly, not with family, friends, and a lot of activities that may be impacting their concerns. So when I say town hall meeting, I want something that's more direct, that we have a transparent understanding between city staff, city council, police officers, and the community, not at an event that's hosted by Parks and Rec. They are successful on their own, and I'm asking for us as city council, city staff, police officers to be successful on our own and give the community what they need, which is transparent communication.
Okay. Jordan, Shelley? You got nothing? So, the only thing I'll add is, I'm trying to be mindful of everyone, right? So I'm trying to be mindful of the residents, I'm trying to be mindful of the staff, and I'm trying to be mindful of us electeds. When I looked at this community booth and outreach events, there's literally an opportunity in every month except November. And I think that there's just something that didn't get put on there for November, as far as a specific, get a room, have all of these people come together in a room and ask questions. I really don't see why we can't do that out at an event. We got a booth and nobody stops at it. We've got staff taking of their family time to come out to these events. Some of them are not even supposed to be working during those times. And they're sitting at a booth waiting for someone to come and talk to them, and nobody does. So I'm very conflicted, because as a resident, yes, transparency is, I believe, top notch. And it's absolutely something that we strive for. But as a resident, I can't say that I've run again. That's why I'm in this seat now, because I was able to get my questions answered. I was able to speak to somebody and then answer whatever my questions were whenever I asked them. I never felt like there was this wall up, or I wouldn't be in this seat. I would have felt the secrecy or the shroud of whatever. But I've gone to, y'all heard where I've been. And I've seen those booths. And it's just our staff that's at them. So I think if we could start, maybe, if we have people that are stopping by the events we already have, and they're like, hey, I want more information on ba la 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 la. Okay, then that would kind of drive a need for more. But when we've got empty booths at a packed calendar with already very I'll say overworked, they might not agree with me, but that's okay. Overworked staff, I'm kind of hard pressed, just as a human, and knowing how strapped for time I am. All the events that I go to, all the places I'm expected to show my face. Our staff is no different. They're probably the only ones that go to more events than all of us up here put together. So.
Can I give some history real quick? I'm sorry. I'm just going to give a little bit of history because I've been around for a couple minutes. The community outreach starts here at the dais. That's why we're here. I get more community outreach when I'm watering my front lawn than any other place. People stop by, they give me specific items that they're concerned about, they ask specific questions about their neighborhood. My residents don't care what's going on in Old Town, sorry, they just don't. They want to know what's going on in their community. So we are the big advocates for community outreach. We have done town hall meetings in the past. I tried one when I was mayor back in 2017. We have our State of the City, which is a phenomenal event, but it is only attended by businesses, outside agencies, and nonprofits. It's not for the residents. It's during the day, it's on a Tuesday at lunch. So I had the wild idea, let's do a nighttime one, and let's bring all the different agencies in. People can come in, we'll feed them cookies and punch, and they have a full form 3 hours to go and talk to whoever they wanted. We marketed like crazy, all kinds of stuff. 11 people showed up. People show up for town hall meetings when something is concerning in their neighborhood. They won't show up any other time. So to have more town hall meetings with no select topic that are disturbing people, you're not going to get anybody to show up. And I know that from personal experience right here in the city. Unless there's an issue, the place is empty. Just my 2 cents.
So can we, I don't know where we are with can we do this, maybe? Potentially schedule a town hall as we get more clarity and closer to an actual project. Can we look to do that? I don't think, would anyone be opposed
I
to
think we'd
that?
already planned on doing that. We just need a project.
Mr. Brandt specifically mentioned housing and zoning. I think I don't think we need to go as far as a project, but just housing and zoning in general.
Well,
So Chet reads between my lines because I'm still learning. So at whatever juncture, it would be most advantageous and you feel like people would get what they're asking for, whether I'm clearly articulating it or not. Is that something that we can look to?
Of course.
Great, because I wouldn't be opposed to that. I am kind of gun shy on just hard and fast scheduling even more meetings. So can we do that? Is that equitable to everyone, that once we get more information to share, because I don't know that we have anything else after we.
So where we are in the process, and again, it's two different issues.
Yeah.
One being the housing element and zoning, and the other being a potential project and what exactly it's submitted and when it goes through the process. We can do a town hall on those items. That's not an issue at all.
Okay, but I want them to be close enough so there's some urgency for attendance. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to just call it and then my 2 friends here show up and then 2 months go by and it's like, y'all didn't tell me. It's like, well, my 2 friends were there.
Right. So if you will allow me, what I can do is I can prepare a plan and then bring it back to the city council and essentially talk about some of the marketing that we'll do for it so that we don't run into instances where we only have 2 people in the crowd. And obviously we can lay out what exactly the topics are at that time.
Okay.
And I also understand that LaSalle TV is welcome to assist. I spoke with him earlier, and he said he's welcome to provide his assistance with marketing and also filming the town hall meeting and making it available to residents who are unable to actually be in attendance in person.
we also need to clear that through Larry Strother, who runs it and also has a budget.
No, I understand that. I'm just
Not
saying,
one.
I'm just letting you know that.
Doug, don't do it. Doug wouldn't do it.
We would definitely invite LaSalle TV to be there. We would want them to be a part of it, just to, if anything, just to make sure that we're reaching the biggest circle that we can.
Okay. Okie dokie. Anything else?
I just have a question. What's the typical process of scheduling a town hall? So I know we're talking about one, the next one, but typically to get a town hall scheduled, what's that process?
I'd actually like to put together an actual marketing plan for it to actually show the council when exactly it would be. Obviously, we would want to run up a lot of the ideas that you included in your presentation about using the free media that we have. I would like to huddle with the staff, though, and ask them about, we've had some success in the past with door hangers and those kind of things. So I'd just like to basically cultivate their ideas before putting something before you that's half-baked.
Thank you.
Okie dokie. So have we provided direction to the staff? Does that quantify direction to the staff?
I feel as though I have enough direction to move forward with, unless there are any objections from the council.
We good?
Good, yeah. Thank you.
You good? Glorious. Okay. Do I need to read the recommendations or the guidelines? Or no? I can move.
You can just move.
I can move on.
11B.
Letter B. Okay, we are moving on to item B, guidelines for projects of significance. This administration. This item seeks direction from the mayor and council related to enhancing the city's notification efforts related to projects of significance in the city. Staff report, please.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So this item was actually born out of some of the discussions that we have been having with the public with regards to different projects. And when I say projects, I mean actual developments that are happening within the city. In taking those comments in and really listening to a lot of the feedback that we've been receiving from different residents and then members of the Seal Beach and Rossmore community, staff has put down this, I'll call it a template as to how exactly we can better communicate out there into the world about what exactly these projects are and make sure that there isn't any question about having access to information or making sure that we're being as transparent as we possibly can be. So I want to note a couple things before I move forward. We have termed, for the purposes of this discussion, a project of significance to basically be any project that is more than 1 acre in total size or has a unit count over 100. So that would be the basis from which we would then take these additional steps that are above and beyond what our current policy is. Right now, we notice we have a notification radius of 500 feet. State law only requires 300 feet, but we do 500 feet. What we're proposing for these projects of significance is that we would grow that up to 1,000 feet. We also would require that any project that falls into this category would have its own landing page on the website with a project summary, renderings, the company name of the development company, a bio, so that residents are able to find out about the company and see other projects that they have done. Project contact information with that company, so they know exactly who to get in touch with regards to the project that's being proposed, and that all would be housed on its own individual page on the city's website. We also would like there to be signage on the subject property on a sign that would be no smaller than 3 by 5 feet. So it's clearly visible from the road, people driving past or people walking past. That would include a proposed rendering of the project, company name, project contact, and a QR code that would link directly back to the information that's being housed on the city's website. And then lastly, where a proposed project's 1,000-foot radius extends into a neighboring jurisdiction, that it would require a certified letter be mailed to that jurisdiction and request that they include the same information on their website as well. Obviously, that's something we cannot mandate, but it is something that we can ask. And I think by expanding the circle, so to speak, it will give us a chance to make sure that everybody knows about it. I know that this town isn't that big, so if there's a big sign on a piece of property that shows coming soon or being considered soon, most people should see it. And being able to house all that information on the website and then having a direct contact, I think at least gives everyone a place to go with their questions.
Awesome. Thank you. All righty. Are there any members of the public that would like to speak on that item? He didn't leave nothing out, huh? Can I get a thumbs up, Mrs. Churchill? Not yet? I'll keep working on you. All righty. Council, any questions or comments?
I have a couple comments. Kind of going back to some of the slides that I have here. You had mentioned that if the 1,000 feet goes into a neighboring jurisdiction to ask them to use social media. Can we also include these projects in our weekly newsletter and on our social media as well?
Of course.
Okay.
Just one question?
Short and simple.
I love it. Okay. Anybody else have anything they would like to add? maybe he left off, might have overlooked. There was a lot of information. Thank you for so quickly and proficiently putting all of that together. I do appreciate it. As a resident, I do. Thank you. Okay. What do you need to move forward?
Since this will become an admin reg, I would like the council to vote on it.
Okay. So I need a motion and a second, and then all in favor? Or you need to read something? What needs to happen?
One moment, Mr. City Manager.
I think I just used the wrong term, and I'm scared, Wendy. So, I just in order to formalize this, I would request that the city council vote on it.
Okay.
What specifically are we voting on?
It's to enact the standards that I read off, and I'll read them again quickly. To increase for projects of significance, to increase the notification radius from 500 to 1,000 feet. A project summary, rendering, company name, bio, company contact information will be housed on the city's website for each project of significance. Provide signage on the subject property no smaller than 3 by 5 feet. That will include the rendering of the proposed project, company name, project contact information, and a QR code that links back to the city's website where that information is housed. And when a proposed project of 1,000 feet, what that falls within that 1,000-foot radius extends into a neighboring jurisdiction, that a certified letter with the information referenced above be sent to that jurisdiction and request that such jurisdiction post that information on their city's website or social media. And then I'll also will include that we, per your suggestion, that we include the projects within the city's weekly email blast.
And social media?
And social media.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Can I get a motion?
I'll move it.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Gloriousness. All righty. Was it? And y'all, we are adjourned.